everybody, it's Patsy, and I'm just going to show you how to replace the stickiness that might get lost from your click and cut mat. Generally on consumables, which consumables I mean blades or these cutting mats for my KNK Zing, I generally replace everything fairly regularly, whether it needs it or not. That's just the way I am. When I cut, I like getting pretty consistent cuts, and I find that replacing my blade at least every 6 weeks, which a lot of people would probably go, oh, every 6 weeks, you're kidding me, because some people, you know, you can get a lot of mileage out of one blade if you take good care of it. And that means checking the depth of your cut on your paper prior to cutting, so that you're not putting 1,000 deep grooves into your mat. Now this mat I've been using on my Zing, I have been using for probably 3 weeks, okay? And I've done a ton of cutting, maybe more because it was before St. Patty's Day too. But you can see a lot of little light cuts. Now there's a lot of them on there, but these are very, very superficial cuts, because for the most part I do test cuts prior to cutting with my paper. And you know, a perfect cut should really barely score your mat. You shouldn't even be able to really feel a nail drag into the groove if you've got everything set to optimum. But at any rate, after a while of using your mat, the stickiness will disappear. You get fibers from paper that get stuck, you know, into the mat, pieces that get, you know, into the grooves or whatever. I happen to use a lot of the cheaper papers from Joann's and Michael's for a lot of piece cutting, and that paper tends to be a lot more fibrous and, you know, just a little bit of a step up from construction paper, but not a whole lot. So anyway, those papers really stick into the mat, and probably on the side here you can see where my pinch wheels, my pinch rollers, no matter what I do, always seem to overlap the very edges of my sticky area, which I really wish on my cutter it didn't do it, but it does do it. And so if I have that paper there, it just like really pinches it into the glue. So the first thing you can do if you start losing stickiness in your mat is I take mine down to the kitchen. I have a soft brush that's clean. It's like a vegetable brush, but it's clean. And I use a little bit of dish soap, and I run it under tepid water, and I put just a little dish soap, and I just lightly go around in circles all over the front of my mat. Then I go side to side one way, and then I turn the mat, and I go side to side the other way, and then I go diagonally, trying to get all the fibers out. And I do a couple rinses. I turn it upside down in my dish rack. I don't have a dishwasher. I turn it upside down in my dish rack to dry. And then it's ready to use again, and you can kind of hear the sticky. It still has stickiness here, and I could probably use a little bit more. But what I do after I've, you know, really kind of used all the sticky off the mat, and I can tell that because with the last project I was getting ready to cut, I had put this paper onto my mat, and I also had used my brayer to make sure that it was held on nice and firmly. After cutting a few of these circles, the whole piece of paper started to move, and then I knew, you know, okay, you got to clean the mat and use it, or you can use a Renu sheet. Now, Renu sheets are really great. I buy them in packs of 5 from a place online. I'll have to get the information on it. I can't think of the name, but it's Renu. And they are these sheets. They come in a pack like this, and they you peel one side off, put it down on your mat, and then use your brayer to really stick it on, and then you peel the back off, and it puts a whole bunch of, you know, millions of little tiny glue dots onto your mat and gives you a whole new life to a piece of mat. These equal, I think there's 5 sheets for $15 or $3, but then the shipping is about $6. So you're probably paying $4 a sheet. Now, KNK Zing has probably some of the best prices on their mats. Their mats are nice and heavy, they're fairly firm, and when you buy these online, They're 2 for $15. I mean, you can't beat it. The Silhouette Cameos, they want $15 for one mat, which I think is ludicrous. Their mats don't last anywhere near as long or longer than these because, of course, on the Silhouette Cameos, you're using kind of a ratchet system that's numbered. And so if you have paper that's not very heavy, but the setting for cardstock is 3, you're going to use it. It really digs into those mats. Take my word for it. I used to own a Silhouette Cameo. And yeah, it can really cut into the mats. In fact, I have an old one that I never used. It's right here. It's worth 15 bucks. And it's really not worth 15 bucks. But anyway, you know, they cost twice as much as what the KNK Zing mats do, which is kind of surprising. But at any rate, the KNK Zing mats, you know, when I buy them, I usually buy 4 at a time because they're $15 each, and I try to save on my shipping. So for 30 bucks, I get 4 mats. These are my, oh, maybe they're not my Renu sheets. No, these are just spare sticky sheet protectors for when you put your stick back on your mat. So I'm going to use one of these after I put the stuff on it, and it'll kind of protect it from any dust and whatnot that's out there. But I had a set of Renu sheets. That's what I'm looking for very carefully right now while I'm talking. That I had already bought some time ago. And I guess alright, they're all together in this new pack. Okay, that's what I did. Alright, well, at any rate, what you do is you take out one of your Renu sheets, okay? Now, and actually, these have a protective sheet that you can use on your new thing, so you don't even need to use the one like the one I pulled out. You've already got one that comes with it, basically. Okay? So I've taken out one Renu sheet, alright? And I'm going to set it on my mat to be covered. And then I'm going to show you how to stick it back on there. Oh, here's my other pack of Renu sheets. See, I still had 2 others from the first purchase that I made. And I think I have seen where people actually will end up putting Renu sheets on their Zing mat twice. You know, they'll renew it twice. I have even heard where people will use something that is made for taking off any adhesive at all, so they get right back down to the bare plastic on this, and then they apply the Renu sheets, or they use it Aleene's tack it over and over. This is temporary fabric adhesive. I think I might have bought the wrong thing, but they do a mixture. There's a percentage mixture in one of these, and you can find the information from the Zing website, or from Sandy McCauley. She's like the guru for these cutters. And you do a mix, a ratio of water to glue, and then you put it, you use masking tape or whatever to keep it off the edges, and then you cover your mat with this mixture and let it dry, and you get like the original tack that was on these. That's another thing I want to look into, is really getting as much mileage, and frankly not filling up landfills. I do recycle, but save myself some more money. Okay, so anyway, I have my tacket sheet here, and you're going to peel one side off. Now the side that comes off, let's see, is going to be the one that peels away easily. And I don't know if you can see the texture on the shiny sheet, but you can see these little tiny dots. Those are the glue dots that are going to go onto, they're going to go face down onto my mat. Okay, so I'm peeling off the top layer, and then I want to be really careful about how I lay this mat down onto my KNK Zing mat. So I'm getting everything straightened out, and then I'm going to lay it, I'm going to line everything up very lightly, And then I'm going to lay it right down like that onto my mat. Very carefully, okay? So it's on there nicely. And now you use your brayer to really smash it onto the front of the mat. And I'm going to go in a diagonal from the corner, working in. And then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to go from the diagonal again. Because I want all my little pieces of glue to stick. And I'm going to turn it again. And this time I'm just going to go top to bottom on a vertical pattern. And then I'm going to do a side to side pattern, which would essentially be turning it and going vertically again. Okay, so now I'm pretty sure this is really stuck on here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the corner and I'm going to kind of peel it up with my fingernail, and I'm just going to pull very carefully up. And there I have my paper that I can use to protect it in between uses. Okay, and I have a whole new set of sticky on here, and you can see all those little tiny dots. Those are all new little glue dots that have been put onto my paper, or excuse me, my mat. Very sticky, and it will last me for probably another 3 to 4 weeks. It works great, and it's great at prolonging the life of a mat without buying another one. As I said, I would like to find what other people have used to completely remove the adhesive off of these mats, and then to try the Aleene's stick, because frankly this stuff, I don't know if it's to tack it over and over. There's many styles of this and many types. I bought this thinking it was it, but I'm not sure, and I haven't researched it. But you get a lot of glue in here for very little money. And you know, if removing the glue from a couple of these old mats and then doing the Aleene's, that may also be a really good option for saving a ton of money on these. But anyway, I hope that helped you. You know, now my paper should stick nicely. Unfortunately, I used up a piece of paper finding out that I didn't have any more stick on my mat. But anyway, I hope this was beneficial. Thank you.